Mr. Jock, you know this one is aimed right at you, but this is to my Joe Biden fans, my AOC fans, my squad fans. You're being scammed. Time for a dose of tough love. Um, Finally got around to watching this video on breaking points. Actually, it's actually not breaking points. Ouch. Ouch that I made that mistake. Secular talk, as it says right on the screen. Um, Debate, Crystal and Kyle, Press, Rokana, and Biden. So I said it should be good. Let me watch this. So they started pressing him on Joe Biden's failures, the failures of the progressives, and more specifically, and this is what piqued my interest, why I decided to go live, was they mentioned about the endorsement of Joe Biden and early endorsement of Joe Biden. I'm sorry to let you guys know the truth of what's happening here, but if you, like me, would like to see more being accomplished, you recognize the good things that Joe Biden did, right? In terms of the stuff that you want as a progressive or left-leaning person. You recognize those things, but you feel like more could be done, more should be done. There's more that you want to accomplish. I want you to understand and recognize that the reason that you're getting the crumbs that you are, and they are crumbs, right? One of the scams is to lower the bar so low that crumbs somehow feels like a meal, right? If you've been starved, right, you are about to die from starvation, and I give you literal crumbs, and this is not even an exaggeration. I mean, the bread is going to taste like no bread you've ever tasted before. Have you ever been super thirsty? Right? You go along and you're running around or whatever outside and you get super thirsty. Man, have you ever tasted any liquid, not even just water? Water, juice, whatever. Have you ever tasted any liquid so refreshing than whatever it is you drink when you are really, really thirsty? You ever had a bottle, like a water bottle, in that situation, and you put it to your mouth, and the bottle's like, it's imploding because you're sucking so hard on it like a baby. It's almost like your impulses kind of take over, and you're no longer in control. Your body just like need water. You just, you know what I mean? Like that's what you do to the American public when you starve them for in terms of what you're delivering for them. Then you give them crumbs and they will celebrate you for the crumbs. They'll be like, look, this is amazing. And one of the first things that sort of triggered me to want to do this video is when he made the same statement. I hear so many people making them. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this statement, which is he says, Rokana, what did he say? He says, they were like, Joe Biden, he's not delivering as much as he should or whatever, whatever. And they're like, and oh, Joe Biden, delivered a lot more than I expected. Who cares? I don't know why there's this logic of making that statement that he exceeded your expectations. Who cares? Your expectations or predictions of what Joe Biden's going to deliver only matters to you, right? I mean, you're talking about you made a prediction. You feel like Joe Biden was going to do X, and Joe Biden delivered Y. And, like, why should anyone else care about your prediction of Joe Biden? No one's talking about that, right? We're talking about how much he's delivering, right? If he exceeded your expectations or he didn't meet your expectations, irrelevant. That's not the topic. The topic is what is he delivering versus what the American people need, demand. And also there's a part of that in terms of what he promised. So again, I really, really hope, I know I'm going to hear it anyway. I hope to never hear someone again say, Joe Biden exceeded my expectations. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Who gives a fuck about what you expected versus what he delivered? Right? Let's say you delivered. Let's say you expected he wasn't going to do anything at all. He was going to sit on his ass and just play Nintendo. And you're like, well, you did more. Who cares? That only matters to you. That's sort of a selfish thing to say. You're thinking about yourself. I expected this. I got something else. It's not about you. It's about we. It's about the American people. That's what the discussion is about. What he could have done versus what he did do. What he promised to do versus what he did do. What he should do versus what he did do. Not what you expected him to do versus what he did. That is your personal problem. It really frustrates me to hear that. Now, more importantly, the point I wanted to get across is what you're seeing right now is a big reason why you get crumbs. I'm going to explain to you why that is. Joe Biden and the Democrats, establishment Democrats, knows that they need the progressive vote. Right? They don't do enough to be able to just be like, oh, we don't even care about those people. Right? We're going to win by such a margin. No, elections in this country are won by small margins. People will try to propagandize you into thinking like, oh, dude, look, so many votes. No, it'll be a small margin, right? Tens of thousands of vote difference in a country of hundreds of millions of people, right? So that means, just like the Republicans need to pander to white supremacists and other extremists, because they have an even bigger problem because they don't even win typically the popular vote. They're so unpopular that they need every little, whoever it is crazy out there, QAnon or whatever nonsense, they need everything to win. That's why they are so insane, because that is how unpopular they are, that they're so desperate to, and that's a lot of times you see, someone on the left going to the right or whatever, and they get celebrated. That's the level of desperation because they are so unpopular. Democrats more popular, but they don't really deliver as much. So they don't need to be like pandering to the most extreme of the extreme on the left at the level that you see in the Republican Party. But for example, they need progressives. They need the progressive vote, right? So that being said, the fact that you have the progressive squad so early on saying, Joe Biden, he exceeded my expectations. Joe Biden, he's great. Look what he did. He did this shocker deal. He did this and that and that. And Joe Biden, yes, Joe Biden. By them doing that, that tells the Democrats, right? I know they're Democrats as well, but I'm talking about the establishment Democrats, the corporate Democrats. That tells them you've won. Crumbs worked, and it's going to work again. Right? Crumbs worked, and it's going to work again, because the fact that you have the progressives endorsing Joe Biden already says you've won. Because that says that the progressives are willing to go out there and carry water for you and sheep herd the progressive voters into voting for Democrats, even though they have not delivered as much as they should. So the message is, we don't really got to do much more than what we've been doing. Bare minimum is enough. That's the message. What do you think would happen if the progressives were hesitant to promote Joe Biden? And the progressives kept talking about, you know what? We like what things that Joe Biden has done, but we really think he should have done more. And, so we're going to keep our options open, and we're looking at other options. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. You don't want progressives wishy-washy talking like that, right? So you need to do what you need to do to get them on board so they can get their people on board so they can vote for you. But when you see them endorsing Joe Biden so early, that says you ain't got to do nothing. You've won. Crumbs worked, and it's going to work again, right? The corporate Democrats are not nervous. They ain't worried. They're looking at the insane Republican Party and all the craziness, and, oh, they come back with Trump again. Yeah, we gonna run against Trump and we gonna win. That's what they're thinking. And then they look and they see progressives saying, yeah, Joe Biden, he exceeded expectations and Joe Biden did great things and blah, blah, blah. Right? What's the message? We can sit on our asses and we gonna skate on by like we've been doing for decades. Crumbs worked and it's gonna work again. So the progressives have betrayed you. AOC has betrayed you. Rokana has betrayed you. They have decided that they're going to be the sheep herders of the corporate establishment Democrats because the corporate Democrats, they can't get you on their side, right? There's enough of you that are like these corporate Democrats on some BS, right? There's enough of you that think that way, that if not for their surrogates in the progressive caucus, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, they would have trouble winning elections. They need these so-called progressives to put on a progressive costume to give you guys a sense of hope. It's not just Nancy Pelosi, and I know she's not in there anymore. It's not just Nancy Pelosi and all its corporate. No, you got Rokana. Rokana is on your side, and AOC is on your side, man. I mean, it's better than the other side, right? You don't want Trump to win, do you? That's the bullshit that they're pulling on you. That's the scam that they're pulling on you. These progressives doing shit for you. And I know some of you want to really believe in these frauds, but let me tell you this. If the progressive squad did not exist, you would still be getting the same crumbs that you. In your mind, you feel like it's because of the progressives out there fighting and moving the envelope and all this kind of stuff. Listen, think logically. Eliminate all the progressives. Imagine that none of them ever got elected. How in the hell do you think the Democrats are going to win elections without pandering to progressives? Think for a second. Whatever it is you think you're getting because of the progressives, what do you think the Democrats would do? They would just sit there and ignore you guys and then lose elections? They need your votes, right? So they're not really doing anything for you. You're not getting anything that you would be getting anyway if these progressives were not there. You're getting the same stuff, just enough to get just enough votes for them to win elections. If you have no progressives, then the establishment Democrats would be doing this stuff on their own. Because what happens if they don't? If there's no progressives and the Democrat Party is not doing anything progressive, what do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to be able to win elections? I mean, think about that for a second. They are able to play this game on you and make it look like you have some people that are there for you, delivering on your progressive whatever, and they're the ones fighting the party and pushing the party left. They ain't pushing the party no goddamn left. They're not pushing the party left. Think about the Republican Party. Get rid of the Freedom Caucus or whoever the craziest radicals you have in that party. Do you think that the Republican Party would stop pandering to the extremists that they are now if those folks weren't there? You don't think that they recognize that there's this group of extremists that are radical, and if you pander to them, they'll walk over broken glass to vote for you. These are the ones that will literally die, right? They will go do some riot and get themselves killed for you. If you just pander to them and tell them, gaslight them, the deep state, this and that, and the Democrats want us to be social, whatever. I'm saying, you don't think that the Republican Party on their own would not, recognizing that these groups that you can exploit, would not be pandering to them? You think they're only doing it because they have these radicals in the GOP? No, man. Both parties know that they need to get a certain amount of people to vote for them, and they both know that there is a lot of value in pandering to the more extreme folks because they're extreme. Extreme means they're gonna get out to vote. They're gonna protest. They're gonna riot. They're gonna make a lot of noise on social media, right? So it's very effective to pander to these groups. So no progressive squad, the Democrats would still be pandering to these folks. No Freedom Caucus or whatever, the GOP would still be pandering to those folks because ultimately they need the votes, right? So the early endorsement of Joe Biden, as opposed to just keeping your mouth shut and maybe put some words out there, let people know, I don't know, man, I feel like Joe Biden could have done more, that will piss off the establishment Democrats. Then they're gonna come try to talk you off the ledge and be like, hey, listen, we need to work together and blah, 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 blah. And then you tell them, oh, really? If you want my support, this is what I want. Right? That's when you are worth anything. Right now, AOC ain't worth nothing. She already given up her power. She said, listen, you ain't got to do nothing. I'm going to sheep herd my people, make them vote for you. You don't got to worry about me. I'm with you, Joe Biden. You're good. Right? Joe Biden has zero incentive to do anything for AOC or the Progressive Squad. Zero incentive. Because they already all jumping in line saying, now we with you, man. Relax. You ain't got to work hard. You're good, Joe. You've been betrayed. Now the question is, let's see if you are as resistant to the truth as the conservatives. When I tell them the cold hard truth and they push back and they talk around in circles and they go this and that and you don't understand, you watch an establishment, this and that. Let's see if you can accept the reality of what I'm telling you, or are you gonna just refuse to hear what I'm saying and stay in your bubble and stay celebrating Joe Biden with his crumbs and the Democrats with their crumbs, stay believing in the squad and their fraud. Because the main ones calling out their fraud are frauds themselves. Right? Let's see. Conservatives versus progressives. Who has more strength to accept the reality that they've been conned by corrupt American politicians? Let's see. Conservatives have not been doing so good with that. Let's see what happens with the left. I'm gonna see how many people are gonna respond to this and give me all kind of explanations and excuses. And I'm not saying that you should just accept what I'm saying as fact or whatever. If you feel I'm wrong about something, bring it. Oh man, there goes my video. But come with something solid, right? The conservatives have not really been hitting back with solid stuff. It's like they have their fingers in their ears. Let's see if the left is any better. I gotta say, unfortunately, I'm not very optimistic because I don't think it's a left wing or right wing thing. It's a partisan thing, it's a tribal mindset thing. And once you find yourself in the tribal mindset, man, I don't think I have the skills to pull you off the edge. I can try, that's what I'm doing here, but I'm not very optimistic. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I have some understanding of what's going on, the emotions blocking the critical thinking and the power of brainwashing of propaganda. I get it, but simply me knowing those things doesn't mean I have the ability to pull somebody from the edge, to pull somebody out of their tribe. All I can do is try. And that's what this video is. Anyway, on that note, this is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Always going to tell you the cold hard truth, whether you want to hear it or not. I'm not here to make friends, not here to pander to anybody. I'm not here to cheerlead for any side. I'm not here to carry water for anybody. I'm not here to be on some such and such smeared such and such. Going to cheerlead for somebody. I'm not here to be friends with somebody who's running for office and then I'm going to go making a bunch of videos going after their opponents. I'm not on that bullshit. I'm on reality, facts, and truth. Right? I want us to go back to a time when we lived in a shared reality. That's a start. And then from there, we can move on to a better shared reality, because there were problems back then too, right? Some of that shared reality was wrong. But right now, we are so far off right now, living in alternative realities, so divided, so misled. It's bad.